11 Reasons Why Capricorn Drives People Crazy. Have you ever found yourself wondering why Capricorns can be both the most dependable people in your life and, at the same time, the ones who drive you absolutely crazy? If you've ever dealt with a Capricorn, you know the struggle is real. On one hand, they are ambitious, goal-driven, and incredibly hardworking, traits that earn them respect and admiration. But on the other hand, their intense need for control, their stubbornness, and their seemingly unapproachable demeanor can make them incredibly frustrating to be around. Capricorns are known for their pragmatic approach to life, always focusing on the long term, and often taking on responsibilities that others shy away from. But in this video, we're diving into 11 reasons why they can drive people crazy, exploring their quirks, flaws, and those moments when you just want to scream, "What are you thinking?" So sit tight and get ready to understand why these earth signs sometimes leave us wondering if they are working for the greater good or simply trying to make us lose our patience. 1. They're overly ambitious. Capricorns are notorious for their insatiable drive to succeed. While ambition is generally seen as a positive trait, for Capricorns, it can often reach excessive levels. They set high goals for themselves and are laser-focused on achieving them, no matter the cost. This constant chase for success can sometimes make them seem overly preoccupied with their career or future, leaving little room for anything else. The problem with this intense ambition is that Capricorns often sacrifice their personal lives, relationships, and well-being in the pursuit of their goals. They're constantly thinking about the next step, the next project, the next milestone, and that relentless drive can alienate those around them. Friends, family, and even colleagues may feel like they're just another item on the Capricorn's long to-do list, rather than a priority in their life. Their ambition can create a sense of emotional distance, as they're so focused on their success that they forget to nurture the connections that truly matter. In a social or romantic context, Capricorns can sometimes come across as detached, as their work or ambitions consume their attention. They may not even realize that they're pushing people away because they're so determined to climb the ladder of success. While their goals might be admirable, their tunnel vision can often create a sense of neglect for the people who care about them. The Capricorn's ambition is not just about achieving their dreams, it's about striving to be the best, often at the expense of the present moment. 2. They're control freaks. Capricorns are notorious for their need to be in control. Whether it's at work, in a relationship, or even in social settings, they have this undeniable urge to manage every detail of their life. This might seem admirable at first, after all, who wouldn't want a leader who knows exactly what they're doing? But the problem comes when they take control too far, leaving little to no room for others to make decisions or contribute their own ideas. Their obsessive desire for control often means they are perfectionists to a fault. If things don't go according to their plan, they can become stressed, frustrated, and sometimes even overly critical. This need for order and structure can leave people feeling micromanaged, suffocated, and even unappreciated. While Capricorns may believe they're simply trying to ensure the best outcome, others may see it as an attempt to maintain dominance and avoid any uncertainty. It's that constant struggle for power that can leave people on edge and wanting to escape from their tight grip. 3. They're stubborn beyond measure. Once a Capricorn has made up their mind, there's no changing it. Seriously, no amount of persuasion, reasoning, or even hard facts can convince them to budge from their position. They are the epitome of stubbornness. Once they've set their sights on a goal or formed an opinion, it's like talking to a brick wall. This unwavering determination is admirable in many ways. It's what drives them to succeed, to achieve, and to climb to the top. But it's also what makes them incredibly hard to deal with when things go wrong or when they're simply wrong. Their refusal to compromise or admit they could be mistaken makes conversations with them a never-ending battle. It's not just about being strong-willed, it's about the sheer refusal to acknowledge that anyone else might have a better idea or a different perspective. And this rigid mindset can create tension and frustration in both personal and professional relationships. 4. They hide their emotions. If there's one thing Capricorns are masters at, it's hiding their emotions. Whether it's because they don't want to appear vulnerable or they simply think emotions have no place in decision-making, Capricorns rarely let their guard down. This can make them seem cold, distant, or even heartless to those around them. While they are incredibly loyal and dedicated, especially to those they care about, their inability to show emotions can be confusing to others. People around them might feel like they're walking on eggshells, unsure of how to connect or even how to help when they need it the most. Capricorns can be so composed and in control of their surroundings that it's hard to tell if they're struggling internally or if everything is just fine. This emotional repression often leads to bottled-up feelings that explode at the worst times, leaving others in the dark about what went wrong. 5. They're perfectionists. Capricorns are the ultimate perfectionists. They have an incredibly high standard for themselves, and, unfortunately, they apply that same pressure to everyone around them. Whether it's a project, a relationship, or even a simple task, a Capricorn won't settle for anything less than perfect. Their attention to detail is unmatched, and while that can be useful in some cases, it often becomes overwhelming to those who are expected to meet their sky-high expectations. What makes Capricorn's perfectionism so challenging is the fact that they don't just want things to be good, they want them to be flawless. If anything falls short, they can become incredibly critical, not just of the work but also of the people involved. This obsession with perfection can create a sense of unease, as others feel like they're always being scrutinized. And while Capricorns believe this is necessary to achieve success, it can cause people to feel unworthy or stressed under the constant pressure of meeting their impossible standards. 6. They're obsessed with security. Capricorns are driven by the need for security, whether it's financial, emotional, or physical. For them, stability isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. They work tirelessly to ensure they have a solid foundation to fall back on, which often means sacrificing spontaneity and fun. Their obsession with creating a secure future can sometimes make them seem obsessed with accumulating wealth, status, and achievements. While this focus on security can lead to impressive career success, it also means they often prioritize practical concerns over living in the moment. Capricorns rarely take risks or engage in activities that might jeopardize their carefully laid out plans. This can make them appear rigid or even a bit dull, as they struggle to find the balance between living for today and planning for tomorrow. Their single-minded pursuit of stability might make others feel like they're too focused on the future to enjoy the present. 7. They can be overly serious. If there's one thing you'll notice about Capricorns, it's that they're almost always serious. They tend to approach life with a no-nonsense attitude, which can make them seem like they're always in work mode, even during social events or downtime. While they take their responsibilities seriously, this intense focus can often make them come off as boring, aloof, or even unapproachable. Capricorns don't know how to relax easily. Their minds are always working, always planning the next step, and they often forget to just enjoy life. In a group setting, they can become the buzzkill, as they'd rather be discussing goals and achievements than cracking a joke or enjoying light-hearted conversation. This lack of playfulness can strain relationships, as others might feel like they're walking on eggshells, unsure of how to make them smile or lighten up. 8. They can be dismissive of others' feelings. Because Capricorns are so practical and grounded, they often find it difficult to relate to people who lead with their emotions. Capricorns prefer logic, structure, and clear reasoning, and they often dismiss emotional responses as irrational or unnecessary. While they may not mean to hurt anyone, their bluntness and lack of emotional sensitivity can come across as callous or dismissive. When a Capricorn is confronted with someone's emotional outburst, they tend to shut down rather than engage in a deep, emotional conversation. They might say something like, "It's not a big deal," or "We need to focus on the solution, not the problem," leaving others feeling unheard or unsupported. This can cause deep frustration in relationships, as people often feel like their emotions are being invalidated or ignored. 9. They push people away. Capricorns can be incredibly independent, to the point where they push others away. While they value loyalty and dedication, they often prefer to handle things on their own rather than rely on others. This can create a sense of emotional distance, as Capricorns don't easily open up to people or ask for help. They believe in their own self-sufficiency, which often means they isolate themselves when they need support the most. Their self-reliance can also make others feel unimportant or unnecessary, especially when Capricorns shut down emotionally or refuse to let anyone in. This can be especially hard for those who are close to them, as they often find themselves on the outside looking in. Capricorns may not realize the impact of their emotional distance, but it can leave others feeling like they aren't truly wanted or needed. 10. They think they know best. One of the most frustrating traits of a Capricorn is their unwavering belief that they know best. Capricorns are incredibly confident in their decision-making abilities, and while their instincts are often right, their certainty can lead them to ignore the advice or opinions of others. When a Capricorn is convinced that their way is the only right way, it can make conversations feel like a battle of wills. Their confidence in their own judgment can easily morph into arrogance, especially when they disregard the perspectives of those around them. This can lead to tension in relationships, whether it's in personal life or the workplace, as others may feel like their input is being undervalued or completely dismissed. The Capricorn's refusal to consider alternative viewpoints can create a sense of frustration, making it difficult to collaborate or compromise. Sometimes, their stubborn belief that they know what's best leaves everyone else feeling powerless and unheard. 11. They're slow to open up. Capricorns are famously slow to open up to others. Whether it's about their personal life, their feelings, or their vulnerabilities, they prefer to keep everything close to the chest. This reticence can be incredibly frustrating to those who are trying to connect with them on a deeper level. While Capricorns are incredibly loyal, they don't easily share their inner world with others, especially if they don't feel it's necessary or if they perceive emotional expression as a sign of weakness. This guarded nature can make it hard for friends, family, or partners to truly understand them. Even when they're struggling internally, they tend to keep their emotions locked away, leading others to feel disconnected or rejected. It's not that they don't care about the people around them, it's just that they often feel like they need to deal with things on their own. This reluctance to open up can make them seem distant, even if they deeply care about someone. So there you have it, the 11 reasons why Capricorns can drive you absolutely crazy. From their perfectionist tendencies to their emotional walls, there's no denying that these earth signs are a complex mix of strengths and frustrations. But despite all of their flaws, it's important to remember that their drive, loyalty, and determination are qualities that make them both admirable and sometimes difficult to understand. If you're dealing with a Capricorn, whether in your personal life or at work, it's crucial to approach them with patience and understanding. They may not always show it, but they value honesty, loyalty, and hard work above all else. So the next time a Capricorn tests your limits, take a step back, breathe, and remember that these traits come from a place of ambition and security. But don't be afraid to call them out when their stubbornness or need for control gets out of hand. Now it's your turn. If you're a Capricorn or no one, let us know in the comments. Do you think these 11 traits ring true for you? Drop your birth date below and share your thoughts. Let's see how many of these traits you can relate to.